Hello and welcome to the John B. Levy & Company podcast. I'm your host, Rick Young. Well, John, we're looking at the outlook for 2011. Is commercial real estate in any way out of the woods?
Oh, no. We are certainly better than we were last year this time, but out of the woods is really a bridge too far. Let me give you a couple of examples. Investment sales in commercial real estate up a lot. Double in 2010 what they were in 2009, but still only 23% of what they were at the peak in 2007. So better? Yes. Out of the woods? No. CMBS, which is a huge source of funding, in 2010, probably $10 or $11 billion. 2011 supposed to be $35 billion. Better? Sure, but nowhere close to what it was in 2006, 2007 when it was over $200 billion. So are we better? We're better. Are we out of the woods? We've got a long way to go.
Well, John, you say that commercial real estate is rather uneven. In what ways?
Well, I think what we're seeing is that there's been a substantial recovery in very, very select markets. In 3 to 6 of the really top name markets in the U.S., we're doing much better. For example, D.C., New York City, San Francisco, much better. But for most of the country, that recovery has been sluggish if it's come at all. So are we uneven? Sure. There's also the issue where capital wants to be in these top 3 markets, but it doesn't necessarily want to be in the lower tier. It may not necessarily want to be in a Nashville. It may not want to be in a Denver. It may not want to be in Dallas, but it does want to be in downtown D.C. So it's a very uneven recovery in both property sales and in flows of capital.
Now, John, mortgage rates are climbing a bit. Is this good or bad for the market?
Well, it's good and it's bad. I mean, it's good in that higher rates means theoretically the economy is improving. It's bad in that it means that it's harder to qualify for a given amount of loan. Frankly, in this case, the mortgage rates are really very deceptive. The catalyst for this was Bernanke's quantitative easing 2, which was in essence supposed to keep rates down. In fact, what it did is spook the market into thinking that inflation was right around the corner, and rates took off like a rocket, rising 80 or 90 basis points. So it's good in that hopefully we are having a stronger economy, but it's bad in that people are paying more, and especially in single-family housing, it's making it much more difficult to qualify for a new home.
Some are saying they have fears of inflation. Now, is inflation good for the commercial real estate market?
Yeah, inflation is generally good for any hard asset, and real estate, of course, is a hard asset. The problem is, in the short run, expenses usually run higher than they do before, in fact, rental rates can keep up. So there's a real squeeze. Expenses go up, rents don't go up. So in the short run, you have this squeeze. Let me give you an example. Real estate taxes. There's not a jurisdiction in the country not dying to raise additional real estate taxes. So there'll be a real squeeze on people in the short run as these expenses go up before they can get them back in the revenue stream.
Is the restructuring of commercial real estate loans over?
Oh, no, not even close. 2010, we spent an awful lot of time here restructuring, recapitalizing deals, delevering them by substantial amounts. In some cases, 2/3 of the loans went away. But in 2011, right now, there are $900 billion in loans of commercial real estate where there's more loan than there is value in the property. In other words, we're grossly over-levered. So if you said, are you finished with the delevering, the restructuring process in 2011? No, actually, I think there'll be more of that done this year than there was in 2010, if only because there's substantial capital on the sideline now interested in playing offense and helping to restructure these over-leveraged loans.
There are large numbers of troubled banks. Now, how is that affecting the outlook for 2011?
Well, it's not helping. There are 900 and some troubled banks. That's the highest number since 1992, but it's not over, and I think that number is still going to increase. In some of the smaller markets, these are usually community and smaller banks. They may be the only source of liquidity for commercial real estate, and to the extent that they're in trouble, they're certainly not going to help the market recover. So a troubled banking system does not help the market. It's not the big banks at this point. It's the moderate to smaller size banks, but they're everywhere. There's a huge number of them.
Okay, John, thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
For more information, give us a call at 804 644 2000.